Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys have life-saving equipment that you can immediately access as the driver in your vehicle? What if you can't move or everything below your waistline is pinned? So I'm traveling this week and I've seen a bunch of car accidents already, so I figured I'd do a video on my visor cover real quick. I have some life-saving equipment set up there as well as some other things I like to have immediate access to, so let's get into it. Good afternoon, guys. Essential Gear here. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. So I just did an EDC video and I figured I would continue that trend and move on to my truck, but specifically this visor cover from original SOE gear. Now I chose this one because I don't think you're going to find a better one out there. This thing is pretty much bomb-proof. I've had a bunch of cheap ones from Amazon over the years and they've all fallen apart after a few months. I've had this one over a year now and I feel like it's not even worn in yet. Now the cool thing about these covers is they allow you to strategically place certain things above the center line in your vehicle. And that's important because any life-saving equipment that we have that needs to be immediately accessible needs to be above that center line in the case of a crash. Now this is incredibly important with modern vehicles because when they kiss other hard objects, they're made to crumble. Now, with a bad enough accident, you will most likely be unable to reach anything beneath your waistline because of structural damage or injuries. So let's take a look at how I have mine set up. So I developed a system for this a couple of years back called Immediate Access Life-Saving Equipment. These are the things the driver should be able to access within arm's reach to solve three main problems: stop bleeding, cut a seatbelt, and break glass. This is primarily if you can't egress, but also to render immediate aid, stopping arterial bleeds in the extremities and extracting a person from a vehicle. In no particular order. Starting with my sunglasses, I just kind of slide them in that first pocket there, and they stick in there pretty well when the visor cover's attached, real snug, and those are a pair of gaiters. Next I have a write in the rain pen. Can't go wrong with these things, they'll write on anything. Then I just have a cheap notepad in there. I used to have a Write in the Rain notebook, but the one I had was too small and it didn't fit in that pocket very well. I always had to dig my fingers in there to get it out, but that cheap one fits just fine. And you always need something to write on in your vehicle for license plates, direction, notes, whatever. And this is my first option. Right here is that notepad. Then I always have a map of the area I'm in. Always keep paper maps in your vehicles, preferably the laminated ones so you can write on them with a grease pencil or whatever, and then you can just wipe it off later. And yes, this is a Virginia map. No secret, I do live there for work. No, I'm not concerned about anybody finding me. And then the first little life-saving thing I have here is a Rescue Me tool. These are cool because they have a spring-loaded glass punch and a seatbelt cutter. And don't worry, I'm not going to pinch myself here. It takes a lot to get that thing to come out. I just have it zip tied to the molly webbing there, but also have an additional one on the passenger side as well. Now these are great because they take a lot less kinetic energy to break that glass. You're not having to swing your arm. Maybe you don't have the ability to do that. Moving on, we have a Benchmade rescue hook. This is just a little seatbelt cutter with an O2 wrench on that handle side. It's mollied in with a malice clip and the included sheath. I like these Benchmades because they're lightweight, 440C steel, and can be used for self-rescue but also as a defensive tool. Then I have some safety pins because they don't take up any space and have a bunch of uses. Also a little handcuff key there as well. Moving on to the lighter, why not have one? I mean, who wants to work hard to start a fire when you can just snap your fingers like Thanos and boom, there's light. Then below that, I keep this Stanley pen-style bit driver tool. Works pretty good in a pinch. Now maybe you're like, hey guy, why don't you just have a multi-tool here? Well, the thing about these visors is that they're constrained by weight. With anything too heavy on here, it won't stay up. I keep a multi-tool in my center console. I'll get to that in the truck EDC video, I guess. Flipping this thing over, this is the side that you look at when the visor is up. I have a set of shears here, North American type, and these are the legit ones with the O2 wrench and everything. They just slide in between the visor itself and the cover on the window side. They fit in there pretty snug when it's tightened down. The cover itself is held together by these Velcro straps, by the way. Next, I have a little pen light here. It's made by Streamlight. Not my primary source of illumination in the vehicle, but always good to have one. Next, we have some gloves because anything that's in you I don't want to touch. And I have those just held on with a cable strap. Then I have some Sharpies and grease pencils, which can be used to write on the windows and maps, whatever. I'll use these when I don't have the time to get out the notepad and I need to get something down really quick. Now, if you don't have a truck, you can fold this thing down or over so it'll fit your little visor covers as well. Worth noting here. And in the back of that cover, I just have a cloth sunglasses case to wipe my glasses down and a handkerchief for everything else. I can't stress enough the quality of the gear that comes out of that shop over there at SOE. Really unmatched with any other nylon gear I've seen. The only problem may be getting this thing. They don't always have them in stock, so you probably have to check that website every so often. Also $85 as of July 2022. Pretty easy to put on, foolproof. Just slide it on and tighten it. Then cinch down those Velcro straps. So now I'm going to show you how I have my tourniquet set up, which is just wrapped around the visor. Now this is a different way of staging it because the loop is actually attached to something. There are other ways to do it, but this way works for me. To undo it, just pull the tab releasing the Velcro, pull away some slack in the middle, undo the visor, and then pull it off. This might take some muscle memory to get down, so I would practice this if you plan on using this method. To put it back, tighten it down, hook the first bit of Velcro there, then the top tab and the middle. That's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if that helped you out. And remember, you might have to be your own first responder in the near future. Just to give you all an idea of what I'm talking about here, some of the fire departments in my area are running half of the ambulances that should be on the road. Get it out of your head that someone is coming to help. That's all for now. Don't be strangers, guys. Essential Gear out.